So we're going to kind of continue on with the theme around connecting these dots, customer service and marketing and PR, and how they all can actually be used together. They're not just one-off channels today. It all fits together. So I'm going to ask my next, it's like a dynamic duo coming up here. Emily Yellin, who is the author of one of the best books I've ever read on customer service, plus it's got the best title. It's Your Call Is, and then in parentheses, not that, important to us. Come on, guys, that's a good, it's a good title. Yeah,
that slide has been up there for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. I gave it your punch.
Yeah. And also, sort of tag teaming this session is Jeff Nolan, who is the Vice President of Product Marketing for Get Satisfaction. It's an online community platform, but they do a lot around tying community to customer service and connecting these dots. So I'm going to ask you both to come up to the stage. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start, and this is working great. Thank you, Brent. I want to say I want to dedicate. We've decided, Jeff and I, we're going to dedicate our session to Don Cornelius, and at the break we'll do a Soul Train line.
Oh, now that's cool.
That's for you, Brent.
That's cool. I got my sneakers in the car. So.
Good. Good morning. I'm really happy to be here. I came here from Memphis, so it's not too far of a journey. But I'm going to start by asking you all a question. Has anyone in here, I want you to raise your hand and we'll count, has anyone in here never had a bad experience with customer service? Anybody? That's what happens every time I ask that question. So we have all been through it. And I come at this as a journalist and looking at the world of customer service from the perspective of the customer and trying to really understand what's going on from our perspective, because even if you're in any kind of business, you're also a customer. We all are. And I've done a lot of talking around the country about this, and I have a couple of themes, but I've ended up really thinking that the theme, now let me see if I can advance this. This is right here. There we go. Marketing used to be sales. Now marketing is service. And you notice I don't say customer service, because that almost has become a word that we don't hear. Service, meaning the mentality that I'm here to serve. And the idea is you're going to sell if you serve. That's how it is these days. And all of the revolution we've been talking about is, I think, boils down to that. And I want to start with how I learned about customer experience. I went, for my book, it was a nice gig if you can get it, I went to Switzerland and spoke to people at Credit Suisse. I hung out with them for 3 days in Zurich, and I really learned the concept customer experience, looking at the entire experience, not just one piece of it, or not just looking at customer service as something that happens, that's a necessary evil. And when I was in Switzerland, I hung out with this team. They're an internal consultancy, and they help whenever there are problems, or when there are problems, they help by going in and really looking at the customer experience. So one of the problems was there was a form that they hand out to new people who want to join the bank, who want to become customers of the bank. And this form was coming back, it was getting sort of 50% mistake rate. Everybody involved with the form blamed somebody else. The people who created the form blamed the people who handed it out. The people who handed it out blamed the people who processed it, and on like that. So what this team did was they brought in they said, we want everyone who has anything to do with this form and their bosses to come to this room, 10:30 tomorrow morning, be here. So they did it, and they handed out the form. And this is the slide from that day. By the end of the session, they didn't do a focus group, they didn't do a survey. By the end of the session, the actual people who had to fill out their own form, they figured out what was wrong with it. You have within you as a customer, having been a customer, to put yourself in the shoes of your customer. You have that within you. We just don't always do it. It's amazing to me how many people say, oh no, I've never called my own 800 number. You talk to a customer service agent. They don't know, but you do. So sometimes you know more about it than they do.